What's up everybody, Tech Chucker here, and today I'm going to do a review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends Space Venom Wave Silk. Now, I wasn't super excited about getting this figure, but I wound up grabbing all of the figures for a really good price, and so I had to go ahead and grab her. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a closer look. Let's take a look at the articulation. This figure, there's really not a whole lot that's all that special, but we're going to go ahead and run through it anyway, because this is a review. Her head comes on a ball peg with a hinge. That's right, there's a hinge on a lady. And she wasn't able to get her head up very far, but she can get her chin all the way down into her chest, which is pretty awesome. She does have good rotation of that head for the most part, but the hair does get in the way a little bit. And it's kind of soft, but not soft enough. She does have really good tilt, so there's that, and that makes me happy. She's got a ball hinge in her shoulder, which allows her to get her arm out, and she's got full rotation. There is no bicep swivel except right at the top of the elbow, and there is a single hinge. That's an awesome pose. And she's got a peg in her wrist and a hinge as well in her wrist. So no issues with the arms. Could be a little better, but that's okay. Moving into her torso, she's got that ball peg in the torso, and I do not like this at all. She can't move forward at all, and she is able to move back, but and that's good enough. She is able to swivel side to side, which works well enough, and she does have a little bit of side crunch, which I do like, but I do wish that there was a waist swivel lower at the actual waist. She's got T-jointed hip joints, which don't work very well at all, especially for a female figure. I expect much better. She can kick forward about that far, and that needs to be better. It should go up higher, and there is pretty much no backwards motion, which is terrible. Hasbro really needs to get that figured out. Otherwise, these figures really can't do many poses. There is an upper thigh cut, which works well enough. She's got double jointed knees, which work very well, as we would expect. There is no shin cut, which is fine. She does have a hinge in her ankle. She can get it back that far. Forward, okay, should be better though. And you can see they all have this weird lip. And I really should shave that off, but I never do. And I probably never will. I'll just keep complaining to you guys about it. But she does have an ankle rocker as well. And it works well enough once. And she's got an ankle rocker, which works well enough, about what we would expect. Nothing too spectacular. So overall, the articulation is good enough. But for these female characters, I really expect a little bit better out of these things to get some more dynamic posing capabilities. Moving into the sculpt and paint, there's some definite good and bad to this figure. The face, there's really no shading. I wish there was. The eyes are painted really cleanly, especially the eyebrows. I like the mask, the way that they painted that. There's no shading on the mask either, which it could use. The sculpt work of the hair, Hasbro does a good job with paint, and with the paint and the sculpt on hair typically. And this hair is a little bit softer. I really like the paint that they did do though with the shading. Moving into the torso, the actual webbing is painted fairly cleanly. You can see there's some spots where it has rubbed off, and you can see the S clearly in the middle, and that works really well. I don't really care for the gray. Maybe if there was different shades of gray. The hands also look a little bit sloppy. The paint is just kind of not so great. It could use another coat at least to make it look at least a little bit cleaner. So you can see there that the black is kind of poking through on there. So really my biggest issue is the gray. I wish that there was multiple tones of gray to give it a little bit of more depth. And we've seen this body mold. The feet, you can see these feet again. The gray, not terrible, but definitely could be a lot better. And I get it. It's harder with the black figures or the black costumes to get good contrasts, but that's where those grays could have come in handy. The back, again, the logo and the webbing is painted relatively cleanly, but again, just there's not a lot to this body mold. We've seen this body mold about a billion times now. I'm really getting kind of sick of it. We need something new, something, you know, that's just going to wow us so that we want to buy the female figures. I want to be able to buy some really, really good female superhero figures, and these are just kind of run-of-the-mill. All right, so Silk doesn't come with much for accessories except for this alternate head, which is basically the unmasked head. And it's painted fairly cleanly. You can see there's really no shade in the skin tone. The eyes are painted fairly well, though you can see she's got a slight derpy eye in her left. But the hair color and the hair shadowing is pretty much on par with the other head, which is very, very good. I like this slightly softer plastic so that you know, it doesn't hinder the articulation too awful much. And this head also comes with the mask as kind of a neck piece where it's kind of draped around her neck. You can see here there's really no paint shading on this either, but it is sculpted very, very nicely, and it fits on very well on her head or over her neck. See if I can get that on the camera. The ball peg is fairly large, so that's what gives her the better articulation, I think. And this looks really good. It looks really, really good. What I'd like to see is alternate hands. Because otherwise, basically, you're stuck with she has to punch with her right, and that's it. So if she had, you know, just a couple, at least 2 fists would be awesome. 1 for each hand. That would be great. So, you know, a little bit disappointing with this, and I get it. Gasp. Everybody just seemed to be going gaga over this Silk figure, and you know, I think it's nice, but I don't know. I'm on the fence whether or not it's a must-have. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a must-have because there's not a whole heck of a lot that's special about it, aside from this is the name it has. I mean, it could be any figure. Just give it a slightly different paint job and it could be any figure. So you're going to have to make the choice if this is a must-have for your collection or not. The only reason I grabbed it was because she was about $10. So there you go.
Alrighty folks, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button. Check out some of my other videos. You can see them right up here and down here. Also, check out the featured video that I've got here. Every single video I'm going to feature someone else's video. Somebody who has a channel, either it's an up-and-comer like myself or somebody who's an old pro. Whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. So make sure you go check it out, like their content, subscribe to their channel, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Tech Checkers Brain Blast.